Students, so welcome back to Advanced Java Collections, the linked list. In the previous section, we have seen about array list. Now today, in today's lecture, we will be looking into linear data structure linked list. Now basically, the elements in linked list are linked to each other with the help of the pointers. That means each element of the linked list will have the reference or the address and pointer of the next element on the linked list. So I can create a collection of linked list based on the interfaces which has been already we have discussed in the previous session. Now let us see what are some important points in the linked list. Now Java linked list can contain duplicate elements similar like your array list. Then Java linked list class maintains an insertion order. That means whatever element you have inserted will have the address of the next element which will be stored in that. Java linked list is a non-synchronized. That means it is not in a synchronized manner. Then manipulation is fast because no shifting needs to occur because every element will have the address of the next element and every element is stored on its own. Then Java linked list class can be used as a list, stack or a queue. So these are some important functionalities which linked list supports. Then we come into the constructors part, that is how do we create a linked list. Now linked list can be created or constructed in two ways. First is we can construct a default linked list, that is an empty linked list, which can be done simply with a linked list and empty parenthesis, or we can even create a linked list with the collection. That is, I can create the elements of the specified collection and I can have an iterator and I can extend the capacity of that linked list. So the second linked list can be created with the constructor which will have the arguments or the parameters at collection which will extend till the E. Now we'll see the syntax of how I try to create a linked list. So when you're creating a linked list in a similar manner like your array list, you will have the linked list keyword. Then you have to specify what data type of linked list you want to create. So you need to specify the data type, then an identifier name of which you are going to create that, and the new keyword and the linked list again with the data type, and this is the default. So this particular syntax is for the default constructor of creating a linked list. Now based on this syntax, look at the example here. Here we have created a linked list which is of the data type string. The identifier name I have written it as list. So list is a linked list which I have created with the new keyword which is of the data type string. Fine. And now we will be creating or applying methods on this linked list which we have created. So proceeding further, let's see now the methods of the linked list class. Now in linked list, when we have created the linked list, I need to add some element to the linked list. So our first method will be to add the element. Now when you're adding the element, I need to pass an object item in the linked list. So I'm going to pass the parameter which I have to add. Now this add method is going to return a boolean value. That means if this particular item object is added to the linked list, it will return true. If by any chance or any exceptions it is not able to add, then it is going to return a false. So your return type is boolean. So based on that, we are going to add the elements in the linked list. So the next is void add. I can even insert an element or item in the linked list at a specific index. So I need to specify at what index I want to insert that and what should be the element which I have to insert. So this basically will add the element at the specific index which is specified here. Now again, we have to see that this linked list will be starting with 0, and so whatever index number you are going to pass will be +3. So for example, let's say linked list obj is my object name. I'm calling the method add here. I'm passing the index 2 and then I'm passing the object item. So this object item by will be inserted at the third position, that is at the index, because index is starting from 0. Then if I want to add an entire collection, let's say I have created a collection in array list or in a vector or any other data structure, and I want to add all the elements present in that particular collection in my linked list. So for that, then I use a method called as add all. So add all will add all the elements which are present in the previous list or the previous collection, and then I can add it in the new collection. So when I'm going to say add all, I need to pass the parameter that is collection C. So this is going to add all the elements of the specified collection C to the list. Again, if all the elements are added, it is going to return true, or if the elements are not added, it is going to return false. So the return type is Boolean. Now Boolean add-on will be a similar fashion. I can insert the collection in my linked list, but not at the end of, but I can specify it at a specific index. So all the elements of the collection C to the list, which will start from the index which I have specified here, and all the elements will be inserted after that. And but this I need to check if there is not any exception. That means if I'm pointing to a address or an index which does not exist, so it can give me or throw a null pointer exception, or maybe my index is out of bound exception when I specify the index which is does not existing or it is out of bound. So these two exceptions I need to throw, and I can catch it appropriately. Then I can even insert the element at the beginning of the list. Fine. So I have a different method called as void add first. So void add first method will pass the element. It adds the item or the elements at the first position in the list. So the item will be added in the first position. So they have given an example, a list obj.add first, and then I pass the string that is text. So this will add the string text which will be inserted at the beginning of the text. Fine. So this is the way you try to add first. Now similarly, I can even add elements to the end of my list. So that is called as void add last or object item. It inserts the specified item at the end of the list. So method will be the same. You need to pass add last and the object which you want to insert at the end of the list. Now, when you don't want any elements in the list, I have a method called as clear method, which we have already seen in the array list, which will remove all the elements of the list. So void clear method will remove all the elements of the list. If you want to create a copy of the list, you have a method called as object clone. So object clone returns the copy of the list. So these insertion, the adding of the elements to remove the elements of the list. Now we will see if we want to check that a particular passed element exists in the list. So we have the method called as contains. So what happens in contains? In contains, I pass the object element and I check whether the given element exists in that particular list or not. If it exists, it returns true. If the element is not existing, it will return false. So your return type here becomes Boolean. So Boolean contains, you pass the object element and it will check for that. I can retrieve the element based on the index which I am passing in the list. So let's say I want to retrieve what element exists at a particular index. So here I pass the index number. I call the get method on the object and it will return me the object or the element which is there. So it returns the item of the specified index from the list. Now proceeding further, the same way I can retrieve the elements based on some methods called as get first. So get first will retrieve the element which exists at the beginning. Get last will retrieve the element which exists at the last. And if I want to return the index, let's say I pass a parameter and I want to check what is the index number of that particular element. So I have a method called as index of. I pass the element of which I want to find the index, and what it is going to return, it is going to return me the index number. So your return type will be int. So the method is int index of object item, right? So for example, list object dot index of by. So whatever is the index position of the item by will be retrieved. So same way I can call the method int last index of and the object item. What happens here? It returns the index of the last occurrence of the specified element. So whatever is the last object in the list, it will tell me that the index number of this particular list is this. So it is going to return the int position. So this is retrieving of the elements based on their first, last, or the index number. Now, when we want to remove or return the element from the list, so I have a method called as poll method. So what does poll method do? It returns the element and it will remove the element. So if I call, and it will return means it is going to show me what element it is returning. So object poll. So for example, list object dot poll. So whatever is a element at that particular iterator, it will return me and I can store it in O. Now poll first. So if I want to return and remove the element which is stored at the first position, I have the method called as poll first. Similarly, if I want to return and remove the element in my list based on the poll last, then I have a method called as poll last. So poll last will return and remove the element which is stored in the last of the list. So poll will return the element of which your iterator is stored there. So whatever is the current position, it will return that. First will go back to the first position. Poll last will come back to the last position. Now if I'm at a specific point and I want to remove that, then object remove will remove the element of the list. Then object remove, I can remove an object from a specific index position. Let's say I want to remove the 5th position or the 6th position. So here I need to specify the index number and then I can pass it. So object remove, what index number you want to remove, and it can be removed. So when I specify 4, that means it is going to be the 5th element in this. I can remove then objects based on the object of the element in the list. So I can call list object remove and I pass the name of the element or whatever as the content of that element. So removal can be based on the polling first, poll last, remove based on the index number, and remove based on the element which I have passed in that. So these are some of the methods which we can use in the linked list. Then I can remove first, it will remove the first element, then remove last, it remove the last element. Now let's say we have seen that in linked list I can have n number of occurrences or I can have duplicate values which I can store in my linked list. So if I want to remove the occurrences in that particular list, then I have two methods called as remove first occurrence and remove last occurrence. So if I have got text in my list say 4 times, then when I say remove first occurrence, the first occurrence of the string text will be removed. Fine. Similar manner, if I say remove last occurrence of text, then if text is occurring 5 times, then the 5th occurrence of that particular word text will be removed. So remove first occurrence, you pass the object item which has to be removed, and remove last occurrence, pass the object item which has to be removed. The last occurrence of that particular element will be removed. So these are the removing method. Now we have seen that I can even modify or update the contents of my linked list. So for that, now we use the method called as set. So set will change the contents of the element. So when you are applying the method set, you need to pass or you want to modify the index number, which index number, and what is the new value which you want to update in that index number. So let's say for example in the list obj.set, so the second index number or the third occurrence or the third element in the list will be replaced with the word text. So I need to pass the index number and the object number. Fine. So when you display the new list, the second index number will be the test key. Fine. And the int size method, which we have already seen in the array list, the size will return the number of elements which are there in the linked list. So it returns the integer value. So these are the methods. Now once we have done with the method, we come into this example. This example has tried to implement some of the methods which we have done, called as add first, add last, then how do you retrieve the first where, then how do you try to set the index number and the new value in the linked list. fine, and then you try to retrieve the values. So first what they have done, they have imported the package util, they have tried to create a linked list with the syntax linked list, new linked list, which is of the string data type, added 5 elements, item 1, 5, 3, 6 and 2. They try to display the linked list, then they try to add the first item, to add the last item, then again they are displaying the linked list, then they are trying to retrieve the first value and the second value. So, and then they are removing the first element and the last element, again try to display. Again they are trying to modifying by using the set value and adding a new element. So based on this example, this is what the output we are going to get. So the linked list which was initially created will have the items item 1, 5, 3, 6 and 2. So then I have added the first element and the last element. So look at the list now. There will be a first element which will be inserted before item 1 and last element which will be inserted after item 2. Then they have tried to retrieve the first element, so it is going to retrieve first item. Then they are trying to update by the set method with the change first item. Then again deletion of the first and the last, so first item and last item goes, again you are back with the now first item 1, item 5, 3, 6 and 2. And final content, they have tried to add a new element called as newly added item and item 1, 3, 6 and 2. So this is the output of that example. So with this we stopped here with today's lecture. So up till now in the first 2 sessions we have seen what are the collection frameworks in Java, what is an array list in Java, what are the methods of array list in Java. We also saw linked list in Java and methods on linked list in Java. So these are the references which I have used for this particular session. And with this, we end up today's session and we meet you in the next session. Till then, thank you class.